Here we go, guys. Steelers about to be up, and we're gonna be ready to go. About 5 minutes away. Let's get it. Who do we go here? Brian Branch. Trade the pick. I would personally trade the pick, get some capital. Please, anybody but JPJ. You go Brian Branch here. You got Cam Smith still available. You can trade the pick, get some capital. That's what I would do.
The NBA playoffs continue with 2 Game 6s tonight on ESPN.
NFL Draft Countdown is presented by ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire, and in part by Bobcat Company.
And we are less than 4 minutes from the 2023 NFL Draft presented by Courtyard by Marriott. We are set for rounds 2 and 3 tonight. And once again, for those just joining us, Mel Kiper, who are the best players available tonight?
We had some guys still on the board that we thought were going to go pretty high. We thought Will Levis would go definitely top 10, maybe even top 5. Did not. Will's my man. I'm going to go with him throughout this whole process. I'm going to be rooting for him once he gets in the NFL. Joey Porter Jr., fresh corner out of Penn State, available here in the early second round. Keon White, Georgia Tech, and Michael Mayer, Notre Dame, both had possibilities to be first-round picks. Certainly Mayer did. White was being talked about as a late one. I think when you look at the other guys that are on this list, I had Trenton Simpson to Buffalo in the late first. This kid can fly the football with 4.42 speed. That he's played inside and outside. Sam Laporte is kind of like Dalton Kincaid. One of those guys you can move around. Great ability to stretch the field and run in.
Here we go, boys. What are we gonna do? Talking about the best available. You got Drew Sanders. Drew Sanders may be in a.
Musgrave will both talk about maybe his late first. Darnell Washington certainly a
Maybe with the second pick of tonight. You can take Will Sanders. Drew Sanders. Oh, I don't know, man. I'm still gonna take JPJ. I personally wouldn't do it.
Wheeling and dealing was a huge part of the first round discussion. We expect more of the same tonight. More than Adam will have that for us all evening long, guys. We'll agree the Pittsburgh Steelers lead off round 2. They are in the top pick, the top slot, courtesy of the trade they made last season with the Chicago Bears when they traded Trace Claypool there and got back a second-round pick that turns out to be the lead pick tonight, and they have received multiple offers for that pick, Mark.
I canvassed and I had at least 7 or 8 teams that were calling up there. Ironic that Joey Porter Jr. is sitting there, him being a Steeler legacy from his dad, but you presume those calls are about the quarterback, whichever quarterback it may be.
And a couple of DeAndres in the headlines. We heard last night that the Cardinals general manager, Monty Ossenfort, said he does not expect to trade DeAndre Hopkins during this draft. But Lions running back DeAndre Swift could be traded at some point this weekend, Greedy. All right, guys, stay close. We'll need you all night long as all the deals start flying in here and the picks start going off the board in just a matter of moments. We're just seconds away from getting this party started. Again, we will take you from picks 32 all the way through to 102. We had 125,000 people here to watch the action last night in Kansas City. And just from my eye, it looks like we have just as many who have gathered here outside Union Station once again. So the teams are ready, the fans are ready, and so are we. It's time for round 2 of the NFL Draft right now.
Welcome to the 2023 NFL Draft.
It's time for another amazing night.
My nerves are everywhere. I'm a little anxious.
For waiting, anticipating, for realizing dreams. Sharing the moment with everyone on your home team. More surprises. More scheming behind the scenes.
We're going to have another trade.
One of the most unpredictable drafts ever.
But most of all, it's time for more emotion.
My mom's who put a 2 weeks notice in the basement. That little boy, that little girl out there, they can do anything with their mind to.
It's time to celebrate day 2 of the NFL Draft.
And welcome back to Kansas
City and ESPN's coverage of Day 2 of the National Football League Draft. We had 125,000 fans here last night to watch all the action, and especially in the first hour or so, there was plenty of it. What do these teams have in store for us tonight? It is finally time to find out. There are star quarterbacks still on the board. There are great players at every position still on the board. There are 5 teams that have not yet made a pick, but finally will tonight as we get this thing started. It is the 2023 NFL Draft, and it's next from Kansas City on ESPN. The 2023 NFL Draft is presented by Courtyard by Marriott, the official hotel of the NFL. And in part by Eco, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power equipment.
We all have something we love. A passion. Could be our job. Travel. Sports. It could be anything. But here's the thing. If you follow it, wherever it takes you, you'll always find what you're looking for.
Boys, look like they're staying put.
I'm Peter Davidson, because before 11 a.m., I like to keep it toned down.
I
and
probably would have
simple,
flipped
just
that
like
pick.
Taco Bell breakfast.
Why? I don't know what excites people about JPJ. Like, just because his dad played for team, like, so what?
I don't know.
It takes a fight to be a full-time fan.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
Check it.
Man, you could have got so much capital if you traded that pick.
You love what you do. You'll never work a day in your life. Modelo, brewed for full-time fans. Brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
USAA? Yeah, they have awesome rates on coverage for our car, home, and stuff. But they also have banking, plus advice, and other perks. So we know she's all set. Because we've got USAA.
USAA, the military community, and their families.
This is a butter cookie. Wrapped around Haagen-Dazs.
This is luxury.
Enjoyed here. Or wherever you are. Butter cookie wrapped Haagen-Dazs.
Interesting piece. Let me bring in my expert.
So many scratches.
Those are from my car keys.
Such a rich history. This won't do well at auction, but at AT&T, it's worth a brand new Samsung Galaxy S23.
Wait, really? What about this?
AT&T's deal is back. Everyone gets a free new Samsung Galaxy S23 with the Galaxy phone trade-in. Any year, any condition.
You're a star.
Sunday, it's rock and roll night. Give it to us! Idol superstar Adam Lambert mentors. We love you! Plus, rockin' performances from your top 12.
You just crushed it.
Then Monday, Idol winner Chase Beckham performs. And your top 8 revealed. Incredible. Idol live, coast to coast, Sunday and Monday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Welcome back to the 2023 NFL Draft, presented by Courtyard by Marriott. We are moments away from pick number 32 of this year's draft, and we'll take you all the way to 102 in front of well over 100,000 fans here in Kansas City. And here are some of the names and faces we are expecting to see tonight. Among them, Jalen Hyatt, player a lot of people like. Some thought maybe he'd go last night. He, along with his college teammate Hendon Hooker, were possible first-round picks. B.J. Ojulari, his older brother Aziz in the NFL for the New York Giants now. So we'll see where B.J. gets his name called tonight. Keely Ringo, another member of that outstanding Georgia defense. If he goes to Philadelphia, guys, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do. That's Darnell Washington, tight end, Georgia, part of a nice 1-2 punch at tight end that the Bulldogs had last year. And then there's the quarterback, Hendon Hooker. The big question on him will be, when will he be healthy enough to play would it be as a rookie in the NFL? Welcome you back to Kansas City again with Louis Riddick and Booger McFarland and Mel Kiper, the man who invented the draft in his 40th year doing analysis for ESPN. What's the one thing you're most interested to see tonight?
I'm not going to go Will Levis. I'm going to go Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love's the quarterback, right? You're the second round. You're at the Lucas Van Ness. Pass structure. Your versatile guy out of Iowa. Do you go Sam Laporta, teammate of Lucas Van Ness? Darnell Washington, Michael Mayer, Luke Musgrave. Do you get the tight end or wide receiver? They pick at 42 and 45 in round 2.
Two teams that need offensive tackles, the Jets and the Buccaneers. Both of them pass on them in round 1. Can they get one in round 2?
Yeah, I think it's all about the corners. I think there's going to be a run on corners. There's some super freaks, man, as far as their height, weight, and speed. But I'm not going to lie. I want to know where the quarterback's going. I want to know where Will Levis is going, Mel, because I want us to have this discussion again.
The stage is filling up. The noise level is rising. The fans are ready, and they are excited. And night 2 of the NFL Draft starts right now.
Let's go, Kansas City! Come on! That's it! Come on! Well, looking out here tonight, thank you, Kansas City, for your passion. Thank you for being here. And welcome back to night 2 of the 2023 NFL Draft. Last night, in front of 125,000 people here in Kansas City and 34 million viewers, we welcomed 31 extraordinary players into the NFL family. Tonight, as you can see, I'm joined by some current players and legends who will help us select the next generation of players to join the NFL. Also on stage, our active duty service members from the Army, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps. Go ahead.
See, man, we're minutes away. I would take Brian Branch here.
They're going to be back
Cam
in just a few
Smith over
moments. We're
Joey
going to get
Porter,
another
but
shot
let's
at
see
that.
what they do.
As you know, Kansas City has a deep connection to our armed
Got
forces.
Roger Goodell speaking
and it's
right
fitting
now.
that our stage sits directly in front of the World War I Memorial. Thank you. This year we have prospects from military academies who will go on to serve our country after their NFL careers. We'll honor our service members and veterans. Thank you for your service and being with us here tonight. So Kansas City, you ready? It's time to kick off night 2. Round 2 of the 2020 NFL Draft is now officially open. The Pittsburgh Steelers are now on the clock.
And there we go, the Steelers who will make the first pick, we assume, of this draft of round 2 tonight, assuming they don't make a deal here. It was a deal that got them to this place in the first place. Chicago, remember, had the first pick in the draft and would have had number 1 here in round number 2 as well. They traded out of number 1 and they traded out of this second round as well, acquiring Chase Claypool from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and thus that's how the Steelers got here. Now, when we went to bed last night, I wouldn't have bet that the Steelers would be picking in this spot because I was hearing a lot of talk about potential trades and teams that were interested. Mort and Adam, what can you tell us?
Well, several teams have contacted the Steelers about this pick, but the Steelers have to have about 8 to 10 players they're comfortable with to trade down from that pick. We presume it's for a quarterback, but that's not necessarily the case. And the Steelers need to feel comfortable with what's left in order to trade this pick to somebody coming up to this spot.
And Mort, there are a host of teams calling around. We usually see a flurry of trades tonight. Right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers have not yet traded their pick. We'll see if they make it tonight, but look for a lot of deals in the second and third round, Randy.
All right, guys, and obviously you will be live with all of those as we go. The 32nd spot in the draft has historically been a very good one. Remember, in more recent years, that's a first-round pick that you were seeing. Lamar Jackson, who yesterday got a big contract in Baltimore. Finally, Ryan Ramczyk, Walter Jenkins, great offensive lineman. Drew Brees was the first pick in the second round the year that he came out to the then San Diego Chargers and CBC others there. So, Mel, let's talk about it. If indeed Pittsburgh does hang on to this pick, and here we are 5 minutes away, one would assume that they will. What directions are we looking here?
You're in the AFC. You're in a division with Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson. You had a cornerback issue. You went with Broderick Jones, offensive tackle out of Georgia yesterday. Passed on some pretty good corners. And now you have Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State sitting there. We know what Joey Porter Sr. did with the Steelers. Joey Porter Jr., 6'2", 193-pound press corner, ran 4.5 at the combine. Only one career interception, bothered some people. And his lack of versatility, never played in the slot. I get all that. But to get a Joey Porter Jr. here at pick number 32 for the Steelers, and how fired up he would be to become a Steeler, but his father played with that organization, would be fun to see.
Yeah, I think the Steelers have to go corner. You know, they tried to address it with a veteran a little bit with Patrick Peterson. He's a guy that can mentor a young cornerback. You think about the Steelers' defenses of old. They like to have a corner they can lock down and play man-to-man and bring those fire zones. They don't have that guy right now. And wouldn't it be something to get Joey Porter Jr., his dad having played there, the legacy? You think he's a long physical corner. He would fit the Pittsburgh Steelers mentality. But regardless, if it's him or another corner, they need a defensive back from the outside.
Yeah, look, even though he is a press corner, he's a guy who plays zone principles very, very well. Yeah. Plays very well with his hips open. He'll get a lot more opportunities to make some plays on the ball and get interceptions because of the way Pittsburgh plays. Lots of vision on the football. Mike Tomlin is a former defensive back coach by trade, and they know that they need it, as you just mentioned, Mel, right from the get-go. You're in a division where guys are putting up Star Wars numbers throwing the football, man. And you can't just count on T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith. They like rush the passer all the time and put quarterbacks on their back. At some point, you got to help them out, and you got to make sure you can cover in the back end. I'd be shocked if it wasn't that position.
They traded up in round one and took an offensive tackle, moving up from 17 to 14 in a trade with the New England Patriots. They have long needed help on that offensive line, and they got some. By the way, for those of you who are just joining us, I will remind everyone that in this second round, there will be 7 minutes between selections. Last night, we had 10 in round one. In round two, there were 7 minutes between the picks, and then in round 3, we will go to 5 minutes between the picks. Mel, the offensive line has been such a point of issue for the Steelers in recent years, towards the end of Ben Roethlisberger and now the beginning of Kenny Pickett. I wonder if one player there is not enough. There are a lot of good interior offensive linemen whose names we'll hear tonight.
Yeah, I think you look at John Michael Schmitz at Minnesota, a center who's an outstanding football player. Joe Tippmann, center at Wisconsin. I think he'd be better off a guard in the NFL. High cut, and guard could be his spot. Then you think of Steve Avila from TCU. Was a center 2 years ago. Guard this year, has a lot of ability. He's a definite hole filler right away. An immediate plug-and-play starter in the NFL. So the interior of the offensive line has 3 guys that a lot of people like in round 2.
Yeah, there's up to 3 good players now. I mean, Whippler as well, Tippmann, Michael Schmitz. I like Deuce Scruggs from Penn State as well. I mean, there's some good-looking players here in the interior now that really kind of make up the guts of your roster, right? They're not the flash and dance. They're not night one players. But these are the kind of guys you're going to be sitting there going, man, we need some more of these if you're not protecting your quarterback. So tonight's very important when it comes to these guys.
The Steelers pick is in, and whoever it is, it's someone they wanted badly because, again, you just heard it from Mort and Adam, and we were hearing it all since last night. Teams were really interested here, and the Steelers were asking a king's ransom for this spot. They wanted, there's a player they desperately wanted to take here, so whoever it is, there's a commitment from the Steelers.
Yeah, you see the history of what you're getting out of that position in terms of surplus value, performance value relative to cost. This is the spot that you want. I mean, this is from a superstition standpoint. I feel like, yes, you got to give me a lot in order to bring that, because I'm going to hit this pick. I'd say I'm going to. I want to keep this one.
It's really basically an extension of the first round if you think about it.
Right. Yeah, I should remind everyone
here, right,
that we only had 31 picks last night. The Miami Dolphins forfeited their selection. So while this is the first pick of round 2, it will be the 32nd player selected, which in any other year,
come on, let's make the
pick. Configuration of the NFL would be a first-round pick, but none of the first-round stipulations, the fifth-year option, and all that, none will apply. All right, I believe that's Alan Faneca, Booger's old college teammate, here to announce the pick.
Let's get this started, Kansas City. Steeler Nation, where you at? There we go. It's an honor and a privilege to announce that with the 32nd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Joey Porter Jr., DB, Penn State.
Figures, I guess. I would have liked to trade the pick, get some draft capital, or take Brian Branch, Cam Smith. They did it because of the family tie, so I guess we'll see how it plays out. He only had one career interception in college, so we'll see how it plays out. We'll see.
Big Ten last season. Mel probably could have made this move a year ago if he had chosen to.
Yeah, you look at it. Also, Jason Gilton, this is his cousin. Played a lot of years in the NFL for the Pittsburgh Steelers, went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So this is a football family all the way. Joey Porter Jr. at 6'2.5", 193 pounds. Doesn't just have size. He's got incredible length, super long arms. I thought he'd run 4.55, 4.57 to the combine, ran 4.5 flat, press, cover, corner. Talk about what he does in coverage. Get the hips around, flip the hips, and turn and rotate the ball. Don't be handsy, don't be grabby, because if you are, that results in penalties in the NFL. His dad, Joey Porter, said, yeah, we worked with that. That's why he went back to Penn State. So he knew the NFL would scrutinize that aspect of his playbook. He was able to fix that problem. He was like that. Didn't allow a touchdown in coverage this year. Only had one career interception. That bothered some people. And the lack of versatility. Never press corner only. Could never play to the slot. For the Steelers, this is a guy in that division. You got to cover receivers. Multiple receivers. Not one, not two, but sometimes three that are big time. Joey Porter Jr. is going to be asked a lot of as a rookie to become a starter right away for the Steelers.
You know, and people always talk about the lack of production, only one interception. I would argue that when you talk about the 17 PBUs, his ability to break on the ball, that is a stat. That is keeping the receiver from catching the ball, and he does that with his long arms.
You guys let me know what you think about the pick down below, guys. Steelers get Joey Porter Jr. in the second round with the 33rd pick. So let me know what you guys think. 32nd pick, excuse me.
Yeah, by virtue of what